Hey guys, I hope you all are doing good. I'm Pradesh from Saleshandy, and today we're going to talk about SPF and DKIM records, particularly about SPF in this video. So, if you're someone who is starting out with cold emailing or you are someone who is experienced doing outreach, we all come across SPF one or multiple times while setting up email accounts or configuring our domains, right? Because setting up SPF is very important, it directly affects your email deliverability. So before knowing how to set up your SPF and verify it, let's just know more about SPF and have a little understanding. So let's just jump and see how actually SPF works. Well, SPF is just a piece of information that allows the DNS server to verify whether you are authenticated server of the email or not. So let's just see and understand it by an example. Like you just compose an email for your prospect and just hit the send button, right? And the email is sent. This is a step one. Now, in the step two, the email is received by the prospect's ESP, which is email service provider like Gmail, Microsoft, Zoho. It can be anything. So, after the ESP has received your email, it passes the email information through the DNS server. Now, DNS stands for Domain Name Server, which is just a repository or a storage of IP addresses and domain names. So, it allows them to identify whether you are authenticated server or not. So in the step 3, the DNS server authenticates information. How? It just compares its existing records. DNS have a record of all the files. Piece of information is called SPF file. So the DNS server will just compare whether the SPF in the existing records matches with your information in the email. So if your email matches the SPF authentication that is already existing in the DNS server, then you have a high chance of landing in the inbox. So this is how setting up SPF is very important for your email deliverability and increasing your trust. So this increases the chances of getting into inbox. So this is why setting up SPF is very much important, and to have a basic understanding of how SPF works helps you throughout the process of setting it up, right? Now let's just see how you can just verify whether SPF is present in your technical setup, or how you can just verify it, right? So one simple method of just verifying whether your technical setup contains SPF is to just jump into your inbox. And let's just go into a Gmail. Open one of your email for which you want to test whether the SPF is present or not. So let's just go in the 3-dotted option here and just click on show original. Now it would open a whole message and you will see a section here called SPF, right? And you can see that it is passed for the particular IP address. It means that SPF is already present in your technical setup and you don't have to worry about that. But if the SPF is not passed, you have to set it up. Another method of verifying whether your email has SPF or not, you can just go onto the mailtester.com here. You can just type mail tester and open the first result from here. And now what you have to do is you just have to copy this email address and send an email. Now we can just send an email to them. We can keep subject line anything and we just send an email, right? Now when we will check the score, it will give us information whether there are particular authentications available in our email setup or not. So this is how you can verify whether SPF and other records are available or not, right? So let's just see the results here and let's just go into the authentication part, and you can see that SPF is authorized. It means you don't have to worry about it. SPF is already present. So in case SPF is missing, you don't have to overwhelm, because now we're going to learn how you can set up SPF in your DNS server, right? Following, I'm just going to show you with an example of how you can set up SPF for Zoho workspace using GoDaddy domain, right? So if you have any other ESP or any other email service provider or some other domain registrar like Namecheap, you don't have to worry about that because the steps are similar, because we'll cover everything in dedicated videos. So you can just refer our FAQs and video section to learn about setting up SPF records for different email service providers and domain registrars, right? So let's just start with Zoho workspace. For that, let's just jump into Zoho. You need to sign in and access the Zoho mail. Now from here, you have to jump in and click on admin console. Now in one tab, you have to keep open this Zoho admin console, and in another one, you have to open your GoDaddy account. So let's just open and sign in. go into the products. Okay, now just go into the domains over here, and you can see I have already a domain verified inside my Zoho account. So let's just do it for a new one. So let's just add a domain here. So now we have to type in what domain we want to set the SPF for. So for that particular thing, just go into our GoDaddy account and let's just go for this particular domain. Let's copy it and now paste it over here and add this domain. Now you have to verify the domain's ownership. So for that thing, you just have to log in into your DNS and Zoho would do it automatically for you. Or you can also configure it manually, but doing it with just one-click integration, it's very easy to verify the ownership. So let's just log in into DNS and it will open a window for you. And from here, you just have to verify and connect your GoDaddy so that it can verify your ownership. Now your ownership has been proved, so we can just proceed. You can also do automatic DNS mapping. In this case, Zoho automatically maps all your records inside your DNS manager inside GoDaddy, so you don't have to worry about that. And you can also configure it manually. So let's just log in into a DNS. Now you can see the domain has been added. Now we need to point the MX records. So for that particular thing, just click over here and you will see there are 4 different options. The first is MX, the second is SPF that we will talk about, DKIM, DMA. So to start with setting up your SPF, you just have to configure your MX and to verify your MX records, right? So let's just go and verify the MX records. You can just configure it automatically. Log in into a DNS and this time again, it would just map your MX records automatically for you. So you don't have to worry about doing it manually. You just have to wait. Now all of your MX records are pointed to Zoho. And this is how you can do it for other records too. Now let's jump on the SPF part. You can also do it in 2 ways. One, you can do it via automatic DNS like we did for MX record and authenticated your ownership also. So you can also do it another way. You can also do it manually. So let's just jump in to see how you can do it actually manually. So if you want to do it manually, you just have to go into your DNS server, add a new record here. And for the SPF, you have to choose text record and name as @ you just have to type in @ in the name section, and for the value you just have to copy your SPF value, which is this, and you have to replace and keep in mind, if you have any other SPF record already available in your DNS server, just delete it. So you can just go over here and see whether you have any other SPF records available in it. So you can just delete it and just copy this one and let's just paste it over here and save it. It is now updating your DNS records. You can just go over and verify whether it's, yeah, now it's working. Your SPF records is working perfectly fine. Now for the next part, we have to set up our DKIM. Well, Zoho has already done it for you. It has already pointed your DKIM keys in your DNS server, so you don't have to worry about that. You can just go and check whether the keys are same or not. So you can just jump into the DNS and see that the particular key is same. So you don't have to worry about that. DKIM is already set up. So it saves a lot of time for you, right? So this is how you can just set up your SPF and DKIM for Zoho Workspace. Well, now if you want to see how you can set up your SPF for different email service providers and domain registrars, you can just visit our FAQs and different videos for that. Thank you and have a nice day.